Alright, this is a quick tutorial on, on creating an increment program, but using build array to actually allow the graph to grow dynamically inside the loop. So one of the things we have here is, this is the example from last time, and if I run this, I can see the incremented value increase, but the graph actually doesn't change until the whole program is ended. So I'd like to find a way to get my waveform graph to come inside my loop. And this is going to be a really good thing, because then if I were to run this over time, there's my delay that's going to slow this down so I can see what's going on, then I will be able to view the graph as it grows. And the thing that I need to do, though, is that waveform graphs take a vector. So I can't just send, if I just send a single value in here, well, it gives me an error, and if I take a look at that error, it says, well, hey, you need to send a 1D array or a vector into the waveform graph. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to use, to create a shift register that can hold the entire vector up till this point. And so, so what I can do is I can go into the array palette and I can use the build array function, and I can take, again, I'm going to take the value of the value before the addition and append that to the entire array that's been created thus far. And so note that I'm actually wiring it the array from the previous time out the shift register on the top, and underneath that the element. Otherwise we'd be adding the new element to the front. We want to add the new element to the back, and that gets sent out. And then I can send that value out to my waveform graph. And so if I come over here and run this, then I can see this build up, and it builds up from again -5 as I expect up to my value of 115, and I'm very happy. If I were to run this again, however, notice that it added up a second time. So I got some unexpected results here, and then there's a third one. So it seems to be working pretty well, but it's actually not deleting the old information. And the reason is right here. Uninitialized shift registers are something to be very, very careful of. They can be very useful when you use them intentionally, but if you leave them unwired, you can have some problems. So I can go in and I could create an array constant, and I could put a double in there and make that be blank. I could also just right-click and say create constant, and it gives me a blank array constant. And now if I run this, sure enough, I can see my graph build up over time. And if I run it a second time, sure enough, I get the same results as I got the first time. So there's a brief tutorial on moving your waveform graph inside your while loop, and using shift registers and build array to build up the vector that you need for your waveform graph one at a time. Thanks so much.